Welcome. Here's the solution to this problem. Let's look at the code, see what we have. We have a code. We have code where we have a code segment where we have a while loop. Let's take a look at it carefully. What does the while loop really do? While what? What is remind? Let me remind you what this means. This means if I'm successful at reading an input, then this becomes true. If I read an input, I process it. So this is like a read, check, read, where at line 6 we're doing a read and a check. All right, so let's get started. So we begin, sorry, we begin at, sorry for this. We begin at line 1. At line 1, we create a variable called num, no value. Line 2, we create a variable called sum. Line 3, we execute. I'm just going to put a markup here that says we produce output. And the output will be the prompt. Enter all values on one line. Sorry about that. That's one output. The slash simply means the other output is separate from this. That's all it means. After line 3, we do line 4. We read in a value which we call sum. This may be different than I planned. And we read a value into a variable called sum. The value that we read is a 2. After line 4, we do line 5, where we do an output. And what are we really outputting? Excuse me. We're going to output the value that we read as sum. So that will be what's the value of sum? A 2. Line 6, we hit the while loop. Again, we make a decision, so we're going to record whether it's true or false. What are we getting ready to do? We're going to attempt to read another value. What value are we going to attempt to read? We've read the 2, so the next value is 4.3. When we try to read that, we've got to look at data types. Num is what data type? An int, which means we can only read the 4. We cannot read the decimal place, but we do successfully read the 4. So that's a true. All right. Having done that, what value have we read? We've read a value into num. What value is that? A 4. After 6, we go into the body of the loop, so there's statement 7. And at statement 7, we're going to output something. What are we going to output? We're going to output to the end of this a plus sign. Okay. And then we are going to, at line 8, we're going to increment the sum by adding num to it. Sum is a 2, num is 4, so the updated value of sum is a 6. Now what comes after line 8? Well, we got to go back to the loop, which is at line 6. Go back to the body of the loop, go back to the heading of the loop, line 6. And now we're going to attempt to read another integer. The reading will start at the decimal place. Will you be able to read a whole number starting at a decimal place? And I hope you know by now that you can't do that. So the result of this read is a failure. What does that mean? It means that you do not enter the body of the loop. Instead, you execute the statement that comes after the loop. And that statement is 9. And what are we doing at 9? At 9, we are going to output something. What are we going to output? Let's show it down here. We're going to output, oh, sorry. I did something wrong. Previously, when I read the 4, I was supposed to output a plus sign and a 4. I left that out. Sorry about that. And now we're going to put an equal sign. We're down here, followed by the sum, which is a 6. All right. Again, and after line 9, that's all. Remember, as you enter your trace into the test, you don't put the T's or the F's. You just put the line numbers. Is that clear? So the answer should have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, and 9.